And he was very good, was Brian Soldano for Oklahoma at 184 last night. The Sooners lost the first 6 bouts, won 3, and then lost at heavyweight. We begin with the 125-pounders here tonight. For the Sooners, 26th ranked Conrad Hendriksen. And out there for the Panthers is number 13, Trever Anderson, to get things started.
Yeah, and this, obviously Conrad struggled last night, really had problems with legs on top, but once again, today's a new day.
Trever Anderson is a redshirt junior from Ankeny, Iowa. He's 2-5 against top 25 competition. Lost to Oklahoma State's 7th-ranked Troy Spratley last night.
This is interesting because he's got an injury and it doesn't look minor.
Does not.
Now, he actually has had upset wins over Nebraska All-American Caleb Smith. And the year after he won the NCAA championship, he upset Richie Figueroa from Arizona State, who's now at OSU. So he can wrestle, and he's a big boy.
But they are attending to Trever Anderson now. And Coach, best I could see, not exactly what happened to him.
Well, I'll tell you, from what I'm seeing, I think he got shot. He got a shot in the noggin. And there's concussion protocol. There's no time limit. They may take him out of the gym and examine him to be sure that he can go. I don't see anything else that they're looking at. Do you?
I do not. And as you said, the concentration seems to be above the neck, and it's a conversation right now. As you said, with concussion protocol, it's not your typical injury timeout. And you see Oklahoma realizing that. They're actually going to get Conrad Hendriksen his shirt back on because this could be a bit of a delay, is what you're alluding to.
That's exactly right. Yep. And rightly so, because
Absolutely.
The health of the competitor is number one.
So as they go through the protocol here, and Trever Anderson, to the crowd's delight, you can see a little blood trickling from his right ear. Not that that's out of the norm in wrestling, but I think that's exactly what you said. They will take him back and evaluate him, and we just play the waiting game as far as that is concerned, and hope that Trever Anderson is okay and able to continue for the Panthers.
Yes.
Northern Iowa comes in with a record of 9-5. They had won 6 straight matches before that defeat up in Stillwater last night, so they were rolling along pretty good. And then Oklahoma State beat them, but that's what Oklahoma State is capable of. 34-3 was the final with Nick Fox, whom you talked about a moment ago, the 184-pounder. He had the lone win for the Panthers last night, but there were more competitive bouts, Coach Doug Schwab felt like last night.
I will tell you that Northern Iowa is one of the hardest, year in, year out, one of the hardest wrestling teams in America, and they always give themselves a chance to win. The difference is when you look at Oklahoma State and you look at Penn State. First of all, both programs, both coaching staffs do everything right, but they are bringing in such exceptional talent. It's hard for other programs to compete with them. So they're bringing in champions and making champions. Now, maybe in a way that anybody else couldn't do because they are exceptional, but that talent differential is tough to overcome.
Certainly, and for this Northern Iowa team, they come back and travel down here to Norman, trying to get their feet back underneath them. But they've had a very good season. In fact, they lead the all-time series between these two programs, 15-8. They won 20-13 last year. They've won 8 straight in the series. So that is what the third-year Sooner head coach Roger Kish and his guys are up to. And this Oklahoma team, they've suffered injuries, and it would be lineup-changing type injuries, season-changing type injuries. They have a 149-pounder in Jack Joffrey, who's a Virginia transfer, who was an NCAA qualifier a season ago for the Cavaliers. He's been injured and out for the year. And then at 157, Rafael Hippolito, who is a Brazilian but transferred from Virginia Tech. He was an ACC champion that went to the NCAAs last year. So both those guys at 149 and 157 for the Sooners, you automatically are going to be favored at those weights most times you go out there. And that's not to say ill things of any of those who have been plugged in at 149 and 157. But those two guys are potential top 5 wrestlers in the country at their respective weight classes, and that just shifts things.
Yeah, and what you have to understand is, first of all, this is only Coach Kish's 3rd year. In his first year, they had the highest NCAA placing. I think it was 22nd in 8 years. Then last year, he has a defending 3rd-place finisher. He has a great team. And Iowa, and I wasn't going to mention Iowa, and there's nothing wrong with this. It's legal. They offered him $300,000. He turned it down. They came back with $500,000, and that's hard to turn down. So he leaves. The heavyweight who never would have left otherwise, he winds up leaving, taking a neat offer from Michigan. So a team that, with those points, at least on paper, would have been top 10, struggles. So the point is this. These aren't excuses. You got to find a way to make it happen. But you also have to catch some breaks. And I've been where we are so good, and all of a sudden, a guy's out of the lineup.
Well,
so, wow.
Really unfortunate for the Panthers here. That is Trever Anderson is unable to continue this opening bout. So it's an injury default and 6 points for Conrad Hendriksen and the Sooners.